Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Maybe we're reading too much into what Billy Flynn said in confirming to us weekly that he is playing the young and the restless, Aristotle Dumas. Then again, maybe not. The actor, who makes his first appearance in the Friday, June 20th episode, likened his character to the person behind The Great Gatsby. If you'll recall, in F. Scott Fitzgerald's classic novel, Mysterious Millionaire J. Gatsby is really Jimmy Gats, a bootlegger made good. Throughout the book, he endeavors to win back the affections of lost love Daisy Buchanan. Sounds to us an awful lot like Cain Ashby, who originally came to Genoa City as a bartender, passing himself off as Philip Chancellor and ultimately blew it repeatedly with Lily Winters, who should have been his endgame. So our hunch is that when Dumas reveals himself, reactions will range from, well, Cain Ashby, I'll be damned, to, wow, you sure look different, Cain, and what happened to your Australian accent? The article even comes out and says that Flynn will be able to comment further after Dumas joins his party guests, in other words, after they as well as viewers are made aware that he is really Cain. Lily's former spouse was originally played from 2007-19 by Daniel Goddard, who is now a regular on General Hospital as Professor Henry Dalton. If Flynn is indeed picking up where Goddard left off, Cain is going to have an awful lot of explaining to do. Until he takes a load off in the hot seat, check out the below photo gallery that revisits Cain's life and lies. Up to this point, young and restless, Billy Flynn drops a big clue that Aristotle Dumas is really, spoiler. The residents of Genoa City are no strangers to secrets, lies, and jaw-dropping revelations, but nothing has sent shockwaves through the young and the restless quite like the arrival of Aristotle Dumas. Mysterious, magnetic, and quietly dangerous, Dumas has slithered into town like a well-dressed serpent. And now, Days of Our Lives alum Billy Flynn, newly minted as Y&R's enigmatic new cast member, has dropped a jaw-dropping hint: Dumas might not be who we think he is. In a cryptic Instagram live, Flynn teased, let's just say, Aristotle isn't exactly a stranger to some of the people in Genoa City. He's been here before, in more ways than one. Fans immediately erupted, racing to Reddit and X, formerly Twitter, with wild theories. But one in particular has gathered serious steam. Aristotle Dumas might actually be someone viewers already know, someone long presumed dead, missing, or transformed beyond recognition. Who is Aristotle Dumas? Introduced as a wealthy, reclusive tech entrepreneur with obscure European ties, Aristotle Dumas has kept his cards close to the vest. Since arriving, he's charmed some, Audra, Sally, unnerved others, Victor, Nikki, and openly threatened a few, Billy, Nate. His mansion, nicknamed The Lair by locals, is more fortress than home, filled with symbolic art, eerie surveillance equipment, and secret passageways. His motivations are murky, but his obsession with control is crystal clear. Though Dumas claims he's in Genoa City to fund a startup and disrupt old institutions, his actions say otherwise. He's inserted himself into corporate battles, played mind games with Sharon, and offered cryptic advice to Summer and Kyle that seems too personal to be random. So, why does he know so much? Why does his gaze linger on certain characters just a second too long? And why did Billy Flynn, who plays Dumas, just hint that Aristotle has a past we've already seen play out? Flynn's clue: he's been here before. The moment Billy Flynn dropped that line, fans immediately went full detective. Flynn's words were deliberate. Not who you think, but maybe who you used to know, he teased. Which leads us to the biggest theory swirling in fan forums: Aristotle Dumas is really Ian Ward. Wait, what? Ian Ward? But he's gone, right? Let's rewind. Ian Ward, the charismatic cult leader and master manipulator, was presumed dead after his last terrifying encounter with Nikki and Dylan. But as soap fans know all too well, presumed dead is practically a vacation in Genoa City. Ward's body was never recovered. The explosion he died in, highly suspicious, and most damning. Victor Newman himself never believed Ward was truly gone. Now imagine this: a disfigured and disgraced Ian Ward survives the explosion. He disappears. He reinvents himself, going underground and rebuilding from the shadows. He taps into crypto, biotech, and surveillance tech. He assumes a new identity. He becomes Aristotle Dumas. The timelines could line up. The icy charm, the ability to manipulate without raising his voice, the eerie fascination with Nikki and Victor, it all fits. Dumas, philosopher, name, the obsession with identity, control, power. Classic Ward. Still not convinced? Let's break it down. The clues are everywhere. 1. His obsession with Nikki. From the start, Dumas has fixated on Nikki. He's praised her resilience, coincidentally, bumped into her at charity events, and made vague references to pain reborn as power. Ian Ward's obsession with Nikki was legendary. Dumas seems to know far too much about her trauma. 2. His knowledge of Victor's secrets. Dumas managed to rattle Victor Newman by casually referencing an old New York scandal that was never made public. The only people who knew about it were Victor, a private investigator, and Ian Ward. 3. His disdain for organized religion and groups. Dumas mocked Sharon's previous connection to spiritual charlatans, a pointed jab that could easily come from someone like Ian Ward, who was that kind of manipulator and now seeks to distance himself from his past self. 4. His interest in Dylan McAvoy's disappearance. In a blink-and-you-miss-it moment, Dumas asked Paul Williams about what happened to your son, referencing Dylan's quiet exit. Dylan was a major player in taking Ian down. Why would Dumas care, unless he's the man Dylan helped bury? A return like no other. If this theory proves true, it would mark one of the boldest reinventions in soap history. A legacy villain resurrected under a new face, played by a new actor, yet connected to years of storyline gold. And let's not overlook the delicious irony. Billy Flynn, long known as DOOL's Chad DiMera, stepping into a Y&R role with sinister gravitas and layers of legacy. When asked directly about the Ian Ward theory, Flynn simply smirked. Aristotle has layers, he said. He's got a past. Whether you recognize it or not, that's the real mystery. The ripple effects in Genoa City. If Aristotle really is Ian Ward reborn, the domino effect could be massive. Nikki. Already emotionally frayed from Victor's manipulations and Dumas' mind games, Nikki could spiral upon realizing she's being hunted again by the monster from her past. Her sobriety, her marriage, even her safety could be in jeopardy. Victor. He prides himself on knowing every threat. But what if he let his guard down? What if the man he thought he destroyed now holds all the cards? Sharon. Having narrowly escaped Ian Ward's manipulation in the past, she might be the key to uncovering Dumas' true identity, but at what cost? Faith and Noah. They were mere bystanders during Ian's first reign of terror. Dumas could now target them as pawns in his long game of vengeance. Dylan McAvoy. Could this twist lure Steve Burton back for a surprise return? Dylan's unfinished business with Ward is the kind of fuel that fans live for. Newman Enterprises. With Dumas holding secret shares through dummy corporations, he could be on the verge of a hostile takeover. Imagine Victor forced to team up with Adam and Victoria to defeat a villain they once thought dead. Billy Flynn, the master of misdirection. Of course, there's always the chance Flynn is trolling us all, leading fans down a deliciously wrong path. Could Aristotle instead be connected to someone else entirely? A relative of Ashland Locke? A long-lost sibling of Ian Ward or Cole Howard? Maybe even a twisted version of Dylan himself in disguise. Flynn's performance has been deliberately slippery. He plays Dumas with layers of charm, menace, and emotional distance. One moment he's sipping scotch with Lily, the next he's threatening Nate's medical license. Whoever Dumas is, he's not just a businessman. He's a predator with a plan. What's next? According to Y&R spoilers, next week Dumas invites Sharon, Victor, and Nikki to a philosophical retreat at his estate, an eerily familiar setting for anyone who remembers the Path cult. Will it end in enlightenment, or bloodshed? Meanwhile, Phyllis stumbles upon a photo of Dumas with a shadowy figure from the past. She brings it to Chance, and the two begin investigating his identity. Devon finds inconsistencies in Dumas' investment portfolio, and Abby overhears a phone call that chills her to the bone. And then, in the final moment of Friday's episode, Dumas opens a hidden drawer. Inside, a silver locket with a photo of Nikki from the 80s, and the initials IW etched on the back. Mic dropped. Final thoughts. Whether Aristotle Dumas truly is Ian Ward or someone else entirely, one thing's for sure, Billy Flynn's entrance into the Y&R universe has ignited a firestorm of speculation and excitement. His portrayal of Dumas is one of the most compelling debuts in recent soap memory, combining intellect, menace, and heartbreaking mystery. If Flynn's clue proves true, and Dumas is a resurrected face from Genoa City's dark past, it will usher in a thrilling new chapter of The Young and the Restless. And if not, well, Dumas is already one hell of a villain on his own. But just remember what Billy Flynn said. He's been here before. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our Update World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.